capitalism is based on a system of profit. You have to take out more than you put in order to keep surviving as a capitalist. And as long as they keep trying to do that in a finite world, they're going to keep causing harm, because there's a point where you just can't take any more out.
The wealth is being concentrated with a few corporations that have vast control over everyday working people's lives, make decisions about their wages and things that shape economically how quality of life. And the disparity between these gazillionaires, they're not even millionaires anymore, who have all of this money while people don't have access in this country to universal health care. So it's really the statement, human need, not corporate greed.
We're sick and tired of their money in politics. We're sick and tired of a minimum wage that doesn't pull people out of poverty. We're sick and tired of all these kind of connections with these corporate abusers and polluters.
Those who are trying to commercialize and corporatize so much of our lives will be met by those who are willing to show corporate power that it cannot overcome marching power, it cannot overcome protest power, it cannot overcome spiritual power, it cannot overcome the power of people who are willing to risk arrest, people who are willing to risk their reputations, people who are willing to stand up for the democratic process that is being prostituted and destroyed by so much of the corporate power in this country and in this city.
This is from Abraham Lincoln, 150 some odd years ago. He pretty much called it. The money power preys upon the nation in times of peace and conspires against it in times of adversity. It is more despotic than monarchy, more insolent than autocracy, more selfish than bureaucracy. I see in the near future a crisis approaching that unnerves me and causes me to tremble for the safety of my country. Corporations have been enthroned. An era of corruption will follow, and the money power of the country will endeavor to prolong its reign by working upon the prejudices of the people until the wealth is aggregated in a few hands and the republic is destroyed.
Media, we are calling out to you. Come and interview us.
We had 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people out here marching, protesting. I turn on the news, all I see is some guys shooting guns at people for like about 5 seconds.
We own the public airwaves. We're the landlords. The radio and TV stations are the tenants. They pay us no rent via the Federal Communications Commission. For 70 years they've gotten it free. And 4 years ago they got another $70 billion of the digital spectrum that we own, free. And now they want to crush the community radio license movement for tiny little non-profit community radio licenses for neighborhood groups and other groups.
Commercial media has been shutting us all out and just reporting the establishment line. So a lot of Americans don't even know what's going on.
The corporate media here in this town was, which is in bed with the mayor and in bed with the police and in bed with the spineless city council that wouldn't do anything about it. If the LA Times had to report that 8 of its reporters were shot with rubber bullets doing nothing illegal, geez, then they might have to write an editorial that says that's wrong. Or they might have a hard time explaining why they didn't write an editorial saying it's wrong. But if you don't report it in the first place, you don't have to condemn it.
Corporations are what fucking drive commercials. The commercials are what drive fucking shows. So they're not going to have someone that's speaking out against corporations on the media. You know, it just doesn't make fucking sense.
Well, the media has done a marvelous job of keeping it a secret. So we have to do something to bring it to the attention of people, just plain folks.
I think they're slower to get our message out, which I think is hilarious. I mean, you're chanting, you have signs. Seems like so hard to miss the message.
The media went right where the hate is. That's where they always go, right where the hate is. So we'd like to invite the media to come back to witness the real why we're here today.
I plan to go to Cuba this year, speak to the Communist Party of Cuba, and say this loudly, where the American press gives me no opportunity to voice opinions, but maybe I'll get a chance in Cuba.